podcast where real moms have real conversations about real life. I'm your host, Kenya.
And I'm your host, Kayla.
And today we are going to talk about some of the things that we do for self care, some of the mindfulness steps that we take to make sure we're taking care of ourselves, some of our wellness goals, and just overall inspiration to learn and get insight of how we take care of ourselves. And we're going to conclude with what we're grateful for. So definitely stay tuned to be encouraged to maybe start a new goal of your own or continue a goal that you're maybe struggling through right now. Whatever it is, we definitely believe that we have some inspiration to share. So, Kayla, let's start with you. Take us back when you didn't take care of yourself. What did that look like?
Ooh, a big disaster. I feel like I've gone through a couple of reawakenings in that area as far as like mental health, wellness, physical health, wellness, and how it all comes together in the form of self care. I went through my first journey when I became a single mom, right? Rediscovering myself and what made me happy. And we talked about that in episode 2. And I got to that point, right, where I was first and foremost, like as far as putting myself first, making sure I was making that time. Because at that point, Abby was like 6 through 9. And then right when she turned 9, I had my second daughter. And then right after I had my second daughter, I had my son 18 months later. So that was a whole new journey, right? Kind of like starting back all over. And so, yeah, I feel like I'm still in that journey, that second journey that I'm talking about after having 2 new babies. And it's been rough. It has been rough. I feel like over the last maybe 2 months, my son is 2. He just turned 2 in May. And I'll say right around when he turned 2 is when I feel like that fog of who am I and what do I like, and taking care of myself as far as having the energy and the mental capacity, I feel like that barely has started to reveal itself over the last 2 months.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So it's definitely pretty recent for that second rediscovery.
What about for you? What has that looked like as far as self care? Has that been something that's always been naturally for you? Because I know a few moms who do. Like, it's so easy for them to be able to put themselves first.
No, definitely it hasn't been. I feel like growing up, I didn't know what self-love was, so I didn't know how to love myself in regards to that aspect. And even going into my journey as a mom and of course putting, my kid first or putting Tyler first and really forgetting about myself when it really came down to it. And I didn't even realize I was doing it. I didn't know what self-love was like 6 years ago, and I was just so consumed with life, being a mom, trying to do the career stuff, being a wife, and it wasn't really until I would say probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago, once I, went through that journey of therapy and really rediscovering who I am. And I would definitely say it was definitely after Cam and probably when Emery was probably about 1. Um, it got better. Like, I think there was, like, little times where I was like, "Okay, like, this is what I'm gonna do for self-care," and I remember my biggest self-care thing when Emery was a baby was taking a nap. I was talking to my therapist one time. She was like, "You need to take care of yourself," and I'm like, "Okay, how? Like, what does that even mean?" And she was like, "What do you like to do?" And I'm like, "Clean the house so I'm not stressed and, make sure there's food cooked so I'm not stressed." She was like, "Yeah, but, like, what about for you?" And then I was like, "I really like taking naps." After I wake up from a nap, I'm feeling really recharged. So that was my self-care item for a long time. Emery was a baby. So yeah, I definitely had to learn really slowing down, thinking about what my self-care looks like. Now I got it laid out. I like to go to the gym, eating right. I still like to take a nap too, and just like doing stuff for myself, whatever that is, getting a massage, going out to eat by myself, getting food that I like and eating it at home.
I love that. I think when our kids are smaller, it's harder, right? To be able to be in that mind space, to have that energy, to be able to put ourselves first. What would you say is something that, I know you said therapy, but was there anything else that comes to mind that kind of helped you to actually make those choices to be able to take that time out of your day for yourself?
No, I think I would definitely say therapy helped me recognize that I needed it, you know? Because I feel like you get so caught up in a routine, like, "We gotta wake up, gotta go to work, gotta make sure the kid's ready," and especially what you said, like, mine are still pretty young, like, Emery's 2.5, so I
Right.
feel like for a long time, I was just like, "No, like, gotta do the kids, gotta do this." But Tyler would encourage me to, but I never, like, really listened, I guess. He was like, "Take go shopping, like, it's fine, like, I got the kids," and I'm like, "No, I gotta do this, this, and this," and I really did have to, like, humble myself and be like, "Okay, you're right. I'm stressed, I need to do that," and I think that goes into recognizing how I'm feeling, recognizing I'm feeling overwhelmed, and just slowing down, and I fully do believe that in order to be your full self in your marriage and as a mom, you really do have to pour into yourself. I see a significant difference now that if I don't do something, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, y'all, bye, I gotta go."
Yeah, yeah. Fuller's the same way as Tyler is. He notices a difference in me when I'm going to the gym and when I'm getting that stress out and stress release, getting my endorphins up. Going to the gym for me, or even just going for a walk or a hike, anything
Mhm.
that's moving my body, it really shows. And my family sees, my kids feel it, my husband feels it. So I think that that's so important for us as women to be able to do those things. And it doesn't come as easy always. So I love
Right. Yes, absolutely. I like the gym and working out, moving, walking because it's like mental clarity. It's kind of like a reset almost. It's like if you're feeling stressed, go to the gym or work out, go on a walk, and
that.
you feel
Mhm.
better. It's like an automatic thing that comes. It's definitely
Yeah.
we could appreciate we encourage you mamas to, whatever that looks like, and for me, for a long time, it was a nap, so whatever that
Yeah,
looks
that's
like.
okay too. I love that. I love that you mentioned that. I personally can't take naps. I don't
Mm,
know why or what it is. I did when Junior was first born, right? I was
right.
breastfeeding, so that in itself was a whole job, right? Like my body and making sure I was resting to produce and things like that. But yeah, these days I feel like when I take naps for some reason, I wake up and I'm like cranky.
Yeah, that's exactly how Tyler is, that's so funny. Do you have, like, any apps or any type of meditation routines, any journaling activities that you like to do?
Meditation for me includes my Bible app.
Mm,
And my iPad. Just recently, over the past like maybe 3 or 4 months, I have started um, what's called prayer circles. So I got the idea from a book that I read. It's called Praying Circles Around Your Children. And in the book, it describes how to do a prayer circle, you can write it out and circle it, right? And you
mm,
don't move from that circle until that prayer is answered. So I've taken that, I've adopted it. I have my iPad and I have, certain prayers for my husband, prayers for myself, prayers for my kids, prayers for my mom, my brothers, in-laws. And I meditate on that. And I have these specific prayers that are, each person has their own page. And I go back to it once a week. Sometimes it's not as often as I'd like, but it helps me to visualize. I'm a visual person and I'm also a kinesthetic person. So, like, writing it out for me helps it to kind of resonate a little more, take it in a little more, understand it a little more. And so, yeah, I've used that as a meditation process to pray on these specific um, goals or things that I want for ourselves. And it's helped me. It's helped me a lot. I love how it has helped to remind me of my faith, and it's helped to see it through as the prayers are answered. It's like full circle moments, like thank you God, and just bringing it back to God, right? Worshiping, praying, and meditating kind of all in one.
That's great. That's really powerful. That's a really good tip too. Definitely something that I'm going to consider. I used to journal a lot. That was definitely one of the practices that I used to do. I would write prayers, but I kind of like how what you described was a little bit more specific. Like each person has their own page and this is what I'm praying for. I feel like mine was like just a little bit more general and it was like paragraph form. So I think that is a great opportunity for that visualization aspect that you were touching on to really hone in on what you're praying for. And even at the end of that, you've been praying for this so you could give God the glory that's due, and recognize Him as the one that provided that and fulfilled that prayer. So that's great.
Yeah, for sure. I just thought of something really like random, but I guess that I was doing that already and I didn't realize it. And I just remembered a time when I was single and I would write on post-it notes. Okay. And
Mm.
there was this prayer that I wrote on a post-it note, and this was before me and Fuller were together. And it said something like, Lord, don't bring me my husband until I'm ready, or something like that. I don't know, something along those lines. And it later happened that when I went with Fuller on our trip, when we first got together, my mom saw that because she was staying at my house while I was gone. And she wrote on the little post it note, she was like, your prayers are answered, or something like that. So I don't know why that
Oh,
just memory just came into my mind. And I guess that was also a form of what I'm currently practicing.
no, that's a great story. That's amazing. And I love how your mom just came up behind you like, "Girl, you got it. You're
Yeah,
good."
I still have that post-it note. I even took a picture of it. I'll have to find it.
Yeah, we could clip it in right here. No, that's good. One thing I used to do in regards to that sticky note process is I got this packet on Amazon of magnet sticky notes that you could like put on your mirror. And for Tyler, I would give him like affirmations or scripture of the day to make him feel good, or because that's just one of his love languages was like words of affirmation. So I got this packet and I would change the daily scripture every day, and he really loved it. So that's definitely like another tip is just like putting it on your mirror, and
Affirmation.
reminding yourself every day of whatever that is, that affirmation that you're praying on or that you're hoping on or whatever it is. So that's
I
really
love that.
good.
I have an affirmation on my fridge, and it says, I am capable of making positive changes.
That's awesome. Another little affirmation thing that I've done. So CPA exams I failed, So I really had to like encourage myself. So I made this like poster of like positive reinforcement. I was like, if you could do one, you could do them all. Keep going. Don't give up. I wrote these things. I put this poster on my wall, and this one day I was feeling super discouraged. And I was like, gotta motivate myself, keep going, change your mind, change your life. That really helped actually. And I just would like look up and I'd be like, okay. When I was sitting there studying, I was like, okay, I got this, I got this. One thing I like to do also is when I'm driving, because I have like an hour commute, I like to pray during that time and really meditate, talk to God, whatever my prayer is, for that week, for that day. So I definitely use my commute to work to do
Yeah.
that, worship music, stuff like that. It's definitely an opportunity to recharge, rebuild your faith, whatever it is. But
Yeah. I just want to say something you said, worshiping. I thought of our episode with Jasmine, and how she talked about worshiping and how significant it is to her. And she talked about when she gets on her knees and prays. That book that I was just talking about, Praying Circles Around Your Children, it talked about that. And I just read that book like 3 months ago or so, something like that. And I did it for my first time. I got on my knees and I prayed. I say first time in a really long time that I couldn't remember. I think I talked about that night that I went to church. I did it that time too, right? Like subconsciously. That was completely subconsciously. This time was very conscious. It says in the book to start your day every morning, kneel at the foot of your bed, and to pray. And it is so powerful. Since I did that on my own, I actually brought it to Fuller. And I'm like, hey, do you mind getting down on your knees and like praying with me? And he was like, no, not at all. And we've done
Aw.
that together several times since then. And then me and Abby, too, my oldest. I've asked her, I'm like, hey, let's start our morning. Do you want to get down and kneel and pray with me? And she's like, yeah, for sure. And so she did that too. So that's also something that I've noticed. It's like, it sounds so cliche, or it sounds
Right.
so minor, like, oh, what is that going to do? But it is so powerful, and it just brings such a sense of calmness and stillness, right? Which is a huge thing that I try to practice, right? Be still and know that I am God. Because as moms and my personality, it's so easy to just like go, 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 go. This is how I want it. So this is what I got to do to get it. This is, the vision. So this is how you execute. So for me, that is something that I really, really enjoy doing too.
Nice, I love that. We don't do the knees, but I'm definitely second time hearing that, so definitely gonna consider that. That's a good practice. What we do right now is just with the kids, we sit in a circle, but maybe we could transition. We usually are in Emery's room, we could transition to her bed on our knees
Yeah.
to pray in the
That's still
morning.
significant though. That's something that they'll remember. And I think that was
Right.
what the book was saying too. Was like, not only are you showing them, right, like how to live this out, but you are instilling something in them that they will be able to reflect on and think like, I remember when I was little, we used to kneel down and pray and worship or whatever that looks like. So I think that that's awesome. I think that's something that can be a good habit to build into our kids.
Right, so they always have something to fall back on, raise your child in the way that they should go, so that when they're old, they will not depart, and I think that's definitely important for me and Tyler for them to, grow up knowing God, even if we're not at church every Sunday, we're still, trying to praying, listening to the
Right.
music, and being consistent in that way.
Yeah, I love that.
So, what are some of your wellness goals, and what does that look like for you in your life right now?
Ooh, girl, that's a good question. Wellness to me is feeling my best. And that is something that I'm currently on my weight loss journey again, because after I had Jordan, I had gotten down to like my most fit, even since I had had Abby. I was feeling good. I had lost like 35 pounds. And literally, I'm not even kidding. Like, I was only at that weight for like 2 weeks, and then I got pregnant with Junior. I was so fine, Fuller could not keep his hands off of me, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Right, and you still are and is.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So that was like a whole new journey again, right? I got pregnant, I gained the weight, I had Junior, and I gained more weight because I had gestational diabetes, which is a whole other topic. But basically, it caused me to gain weight that I didn't gain during pregnancy because I was so cautious with what I was eating.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, the last 2 years has been a roller coaster of getting me back to that place where I feel my best. And to me, that's being physically fit, eating clean. I just recently started a challenge, which is game changer for me.
Yeah.
This particular challenge is with a group of women. And so it allows for that accountability to be there because we're constantly checking in, constantly motivating each other in this Facebook group that we're all a part of. So I'm on day like 11 out of 15, and I'm down about 8 pounds. So I'm feeling good. And that for me is like a constant battle, but I'm feeling good in this part of the journey that I'm in.
Nice, and I know part of that journey is working out 30 minutes, and I
Yes.
know that's been going really well.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I like this challenge because I'm such a perfectionist. I'm very particular. I can be.
Mhm.
And so to me, okay, working out means going to the gym for an hour and going hard and sweating and doing this crazy workout and walking out with my shirt dripping wet. Like, that's the only way to do it. And if it's not that way, I don't want to do it because it's a waste of time.
Right.
And that
But
has
that's what you
hurt
think.
me.
Yeah.
That has hurt me so much because instead, what it's causing, it's like, I might make it to the gym once a week, once every other week, because to really, really get there, I have to mentally like get in that mindset, and it doesn't always happen that easy. Versus this challenge, it's literally move your body for 30 minutes, period.
Yeah. So what does that look like for you? What do you do?
Anything I can do, girl. My kids have a little power wheel. We walk it around the block, and I'm like, going at a good pace. Some days I make it to the gym, and it's so good because I'm pressed for time. I have to get home. I have to make dinner or pick up the kids from daycare or school or camp. And so it's allowed that, like, you know what? It doesn't matter what that 30 minutes looks like, even if I go to the gym and I get on the treadmill for 30 minutes and I leave.
Mm.
It's allowed because I'm consistent every single day for 30 minutes and I get it in however I can. So it kind of, for lack of a better word, dumbs it down for me. Because if
Yeah.
not, I can tend to like, what's
Yeah,
the word?
especially with 2 toddlers, like, taking some pressure off yourself, but
Hmm.
at the same time fulfilling the challenge, essentially. You're doing what the challenge said to do, you're moving for 30 minutes, whatever that looks like, giving yourself grace some days, maybe it's just going on a hike for 5 miles with the baby on your back, which I think that's powerful, that's inspirational. Definitely follow Kayla on her Instagram where you could stay tuned to her journey. Um, yeah, I was just gonna say for wellness for me, I think I go to the gym, so I like to work out, and I think for me, it's like the mental clarity that it brings. It's like a de-stressor, decompressor, and it just makes me feel good about myself. I definitely see wellness as like, feeling good about yourself, whatever that looks like. And for me, it's like going to the gym, working out, sweating, kind of like what you described.
Hmm.
But I don't put a whole bunch of pressure on myself to stay the full hour to get this crazy workout, but I just do what I can when I can, and if I missed it, I'm not too hard on myself, what I mean. And then I think a huge part of both of our lives is our diet, what we eat it's huge in weight loss, it's huge
Mhm.
in gut health. So for me, we try to be mostly like vegetarian, vegan, Monday through Friday. We'll eat meat on the weekend. Yeah, we just try our best to eat like plant based as much as we can. And I know you have a garden.
Yeah.
So, what's your diet look like in your wellness journey in regards to what you eat?
So us two, we actually eat relatively clean.
Yeah.
Also, like we don't keep soda in the house. We don't keep chips in the house. Like my little brother and my mom or my mother-in-law, like when they come over, they're like, "Yeah, I got to go to the store and get a 6-pack of soda because the fact that y'all don't keep soda here is mind-blowing. It's crazy. It's just we've kind of gotten used to that. But yeah, eating as whole plant-based as we can, whole foods, so fruits, veggies, and I don't know. We go back and forth. I've done the Daniel fast. Do you know what that is?
Mm-mm.
I've done the Daniel fast a couple of times. It's basically fruits and veggies and grains.
Okay.
So no meat,
Oatmeal.
no processed food at all. And that has been so good to me. Just again, like you said, that feeling good, waking up ready to go. You can feel the difference of
Absolutely.
not all of that heaviness, right, that you carry around from meat and the toxins and the processed foods and the sugars. And so, yeah, we definitely try to also keep it very clean. However, I will say, girl, we love food. We love to eat. My husband is a little bit harder to get on board with the no meat thing because he grew up in the South. He grew up, his dad's country boy, and his mom too. That's just the nature of life kind of thing. But I will say he has gotten a lot more on board. We just
Yeah.
recently found Beyond Burgers,
Okay.
which he loves.
Good. I haven't had that, but
Yeah, he loves it. He's like, this tastes like a real burger. So I love that. So that's been good. What else? We do have a garden.
Yes, you do. You have
I
bell
just
peppers.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
started that. Cucumbers, tomatoes, cilantro, strawberries, squash, blueberries. We've gotten to harvest all of those. Some of them have died off now.
Yeah.
Texas sun, and I probably haven't watered it this week. So that's a whole job in itself, girl. Podcasting
Right.
over everything right now.
Podcasting and everything. That's
For
so funny.
real. Since we've started podcasting, I don't think I've watered it like this week or last week even. I know. My poor garden. I'm gonna give it some love though.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to the garden. Um, that's good. I definitely want to try to do my own fruits and vegetables next year. So let me know what season. I think I have to start that in February when I plant them.
Right after the winter chill. So
Okay.
whenever the last winter chill is, start your garden. I got the secret, girl. It's all
Yeah.
about the soil.
Okay.
It's
So
all
you're
about the
gonna
soil.
definitely
So
keep us updated on
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's great. And I was just gonna say one thing in regards to the eating, what like how we eat, our eating lifestyle. It's actually Tyler that brought up the idea of being a vegan, which is very
Love
interesting.
that.
He was watching some show on Netflix. You know those shows
I
that,
already know, girl. Forks over
yeah,
knives or one of those. Yep.
whatever it
Don't get
was.
me watching that because listen, I'll stop eating everything that day.
That's exactly how I am. I watched like 5 minutes. I went to the store and got straight up vegetables, fruit, everything. Like that was when we were in Washington, but he started watching it again like since we've been here, which is why we switched up our diet. And I just, it's just naturally better for you, but those
Right.
shows will change your life. And I'm like the type of person like if it makes sense, I'm going to do it. And if it makes sense that all of that is in my body because of some meat, I'm not eating it. But
Yeah.
we are definitely like we're not like super strict because obviously we'll still eat meat on the weekend or if there's an event, if there's a barbecue. So we don't hold ourselves on too high expectation, but just overall trying to eat in a healthier, cleaner way is our goal. And it sounds like that's similar to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. So as we conclude,
Mhm.
let's talk about what we're grateful for. So what are you grateful for?
What am I grateful for? I'm grateful for, gosh, so much. I'm
Yeah.
grateful for this season of life that I'm in right now, where we are getting to explore this podcast and bringing inspiration. Just being in a place where I'm able to, right? I have my own business. So I've been able to kind of take a step back from that and pour into this the way that I really, really want to. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for just our passion in this. I feel like you've been so understanding, just as far as what it takes to live this out because it hasn't been easy, right? Has it been more
No.
than you thought?
It's more than I thought, absolutely 100%.
For
Yes.
sure.
Yes. But I don't wanna stop you from what you're grateful for.
I'm grateful for this season. I'm grateful for the mindset that I have in this because there's so many pieces to this life puzzle right now. And it's probably the most chaotic it's ever been just because of so many factors. And that's okay.
No, yeah.
I'm finding peace in all of it, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, what I'm grateful for, I was gonna say the current spot that I am in my life. I feel like I'm finally at a stage where Emery's a little bit older. So balancing mom life is getting easier. My job's more flexible. So balancing that's easier and the podcast and being able to show up for it in the way that I intended for it to and living it out sooner than I expected. I think we're doing an amazing job being consistent and I'm honestly very grateful for you in regards to accountability buddy, having somebody to hold me accountable. And I really think I'm learning a lot from you on our offline conversations. And you encourage me in a way that's like different than what Tyler encourages me. And I think it's valuable, and I'm learning a lot. And I've been within the past like week, I've had lots of opportunities to reflect and to grow and to do better. I mean, it's just like just different conversations that we have like really have helped me blossom and grow and develop, and it's not overnight, it's not easy, it's not something that necessarily I want to do, but it's just that season that we're in is just, you don't have a choice, like grow. Like,
Yeah.
there's some days I'm like, "Do I have to deal with that right now?" And I'm like, "Okay, if I don't deal with it, I'm gonna be feeling some type of way, so deal with it," you know? So, I think it's just a great opportunity, like, this season in our life or what's going on right now is great opportunity for me to personally grow in a variety of ways.
I agree. And if we're not growing, then we're stagnant. And
Yeah.
stagnant is a place that I never want to be in. I've been there before in my previous toxic relationship. And it is just such a beautiful thing to want more, and not only want more, but to be able to go for more. So I love that you're feeling encouraged and inspired. I feel the exact same way. I feel like we complement each other so well, just my way of thinking, your way of thinking, and how we can bring it together. And so I know our biggest hope in all of this is I hope that the growth that we're feeling right now, I hope whoever is listening can also take this in and find a way to take care of themselves, mental health, mental, wellness, physical health, physical wellness. And yeah, that's my hope for you guys. For whoever's listening, I hope you took away something that can lead you to that.
Yes, absolutely. What Kayla said, she is so well spoken and she has amazing things to say. And yes, thank you absolutely for tuning in. Thank you for
Yes.
listening. Yes, like Kayla
Yes.
said, we hope you're encouraged. We hope you're inspired to, keep going, whatever that looks like for you, and stay encouraged.
Yes.
Inbox us if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Give us your
Yes.
feedback.
Yeah, make sure you're following us on YouTube and Instagram at Real Inspired Mama. Make sure you're subscribing and just kind of staying in tune with our episodes. We release every Wednesday. So, yeah, guys, again, like Kenya said, we love all the feedback and we appreciate you all more than anything.
Yes, and yeah, share this video to a mama that it might help, and subscribe to our channel. Turn on your notification bell so you could get notified when a new episode drops.
Yes.
Have a good day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.